All right, y'all, it's Songwriter Sunday. Woohoo! So, for those of you who know, I'm Cassandra Kaczor. For those of you who have no idea who I am, I'm Cassandra Kaczor, and it's Songwriter Sunday. Every Sunday, hey Audrey, what up? Every Sunday at 2 p.m. Central, I play a couple songs, and then I invite another songwriter to come onto the screen and talk about songwriting, life, art, whatever they feel like talking about, and we hear some of their original music as well. Sunday afternoon's my favorite time of the week for this exact reason, and today, for those of you, again, who know, my guest is Heidi Joosten, and for those of you who don't, my guest is effing Heidi Joosten. So, one of the most masterful, intelligent, hardworking, brilliant, it's like that Lady Gaga clip. Wonderful, spiritual, beautiful. I have nothing but good things to say about Heidi. She'll be up on 2:15, up on the screen, and we're going to hear some awesome musical theater, and we're going to have a ratchet conversation because she was the maid of honor at my wedding, and we get into trouble a lot together, so that's fun. All right, y'all. So 2:15, Heidi's up here. Stick around, and I'm going to play a couple tunes to open. Oh. See, I see everything. I see all the texts. Okay, let's start with, I'm going to start with I tried to pick a couple of my more musical theater-y songs as well in the spirit of today. I do like my musical theater, though I'm not quite as well-versed as Heidi. I wrote my high school's musical back in high school, and I can't really get that sound out of my pop writing either, so we'll see if I don't know if that comes up. But this first tune is called Celebrity. I'm on a rooftop in my favorite onesie, the one that makes my butt look nice. You're at home, chilling in sweatpants, browsing the internet. My girls are all around me, we're all drinking mimosas, looking cute but we'll be thinner yet. Gotta hit the angles, pick the perfect filter, not right, that's it. Look at me and my celebrity life. While you're flipping through your phone, I baked a batch of scones, cause I'm a perfect wife. Look at me with my celebrity style. If I use enough emojis, I can fool you for a while. Look at me. Today I'm gonna show you how to draw a simple wingtip. Consider it a gift from me. Cause you're inherently imperfect, your eyelashes are too short, so be sure to subscribe. Now I look like Kim and Chloe, I did it in 2 minutes. Hashtag summer vibes. Gotta hit the angles, pick a perfect filter. Not right, that's it. Look at me and my celebrity life. While you're flipping through your phone, I framed all of these photos, cause I'm a perfect wife. Look at me with my celebrity style. If I use enough emojis, I can fool you for a while. Look at me. I need more hearts, I need more compliments. I need that guy at work to be impressed. My life's a movie I was born to direct. Mine is a story that no one should forget. Look at me and my celebrity life. While you're flipping through your phone, I joined a weight loss program, cause I'm a perfect wife. Look at me and my celebrity style. If I use enough emojis, I can fool you for a while. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. That's called Celebrity. It's all about social media culture. Hi Norm, hi John, thanks for popping on. Audrey's here, Heidi's here, parts of me are here. Anywho, let's keep it rolling. As I said, my guest today is Heidi Joosten. We love her, and we love everything she touches. So at 2:15 Central, that's 12:15 for you West Coasters, 3:15 for my East Coasters. Heidi's, that's when we're going to bring Heidi on, and it's going to be a lovely conversation, and we're going to hear some really, really cool musical theater tunes, some great songwriting, great construction, great composition. We have a lot to get into today. So, my next tune for my opening act is fairly new. I'm still workshopping it. I have not shared it, I think, yet on this show, and if I have, I've been doing it for, this is week 17, so I feel like I should be off the hook. But this is, still a work in progress, but I like to share those too. It was mostly a writing exercise, but we'll see what happens. And, it's, my songs are like my journal entries too, so much to be edited here, but I figured I'd share a draft. This is called Flowers. Fairy tales and paper dolls, magic pills that shrink me down. Fire meets water, girl meets air, I still the shakes and cry. Broken bottles, broken brain cells, broken promises to build me up. I peel back another layer, wonder why such lies. You're gonna be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay. You're gonna be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay. Press my face against the window, fog it up with something toxic, pinch my skin where it is thinnest, and wonder when I'll be such lies. You're gonna be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay. You're gonna be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay. Who made the rules on how we spend our time? Gods and gore, lore and glory dwarf our useless lives. Politicians, priests and fathers hold the pen to write. I want to be a pot of flowers. Such lies. You're gonna be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay. You're gonna be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay, be okay. You're gonna be okay. I want to be a pot of flowers. Yeah, that's called Flowers. Also, wanted to do like a chorus with like very minimal words there too. So, yeah, that's true, folks. You heard it here first. I want to be a pot of flowers. Seems nice. Thank you, Norm. Thank you, Audrey. Appreciate y'all. Cool beans, cool beans. So, thanks. Hey, don't you want to be a pot of flowers sometimes? Be easy, be nice. Some sunshine, hopefully someone waters you, unless you live outside, in which case, hopefully it rains from time to time. I don't know. It's been a weird year. Yeah, and you can be with this new supplement from Menards. So for my last tune, I'm going to do one I've also not played here today. I don't think I've done this on any live stream so far because it is hard to sing. But what better time for all of you to see me stumble over words than on Songwriter Sunday? And, of course, right at 2:15, we got Heidi Joosten coming on. So if you can stay, just hang out for like 5 more minutes of me rambling about songs. And then we're getting Heidi up here. It's going to be so delightful, and I hope... I didn't mean to do that. Well, I hope that, you're all around for Heidi's set and for our conversation. She's brilliant. She got a lot of cool things to say. Kind of has her hands in, like, 99% of musical pots. So, I don't know. We've been very, very close for many years, so I expect some of the usual to come up, but then I expect some things to be a little bit twisty-turny, too. So I chose this last selection of mine for today because I wrote it kind of for Heidi and me when we were living together over in Edgewater. I wrote it right the year after we got out of, well, the year I got out of after I got out of grad school, excuse me. And I had it with both of us grad school brains just running around trying to do the classes, do the writing, do some jobs, all that stuff. And both of us being very flustered, and even after grad school, continuing to just kind of work our butts off. And I will probably stumble over words because this is a patter song, and I need I need a professional singer too. Well, I sing professionally, but you know what I mean. So, here we go. This is called In Time. Don't look away. It's going to be a train wreck. Here we go. There are never enough hours in each day to attend to my work and leave time for play. I'm exhausted, but there's no time to slow down when I have all this crap lying around. The clock is implausible, deadlines impossible, I'm fading slowly. I have a day job, a night job, and passion projects. Tick of the clock. Somebody stop it, cause I think I deserve to be happy. And I think I deserve to feel fine. And when I figure out how to do that, you're the first person who walking through that. We'll try for it, screw it, no, we'll do it. We'll do it in time. There are bad words in this song. Sorry. Every day, the same old bullshit. Whiskey and Xanax should get me through it. I have calendars lists and a dick for a boss. PTSD that I wish would get lost. My bills are ridiculous, phone calls continuous. I gotta get out of this or I'll go crazy. Maybe I'll try a new philosophy. If it makes me explode, that's fine with me. Cause I think I deserve to be happy. And I think I deserve to feel fine. And when I figure out how to do it, you're the first person who I'll bring through it. And we'll try for it, screw it, no, we'll do it. We'll do it in time. Am I less interesting if I spend my time sleeping? What will happen if I start relaxing? Or is my value measured in time? Cause I think I deserve to be happy. And I think I deserve to feel fine. And when I figure out how to do it, you're the first person that I'll bring to it. And we'll try for it, screw it, no, we'll do it. We'll do it in time. We'll do it in time. We'll time. We'll do it in time. So that's In Time, my little post-grad school love letter to Heidi and also sort of myself when we lived together. And I wrote that in 2018 at the Joosten Artist Residency in Woodside, California. So I had a lot of time to think about these things and what's important while I got to do art full time, which was awesome. Cool. Hey, Mark. Thank you for popping on today for Songwriter Sunday. And just in time, I'm not sorry. For me to get Heidi up on the screen so we can hear some of her music and see her lovely face and ask her pressing questions. Ask her where she keeps the other arms, the octopus arms, so that in her closet where she juggles 1,000 projects at once. So I hope you'll all have some awesome questions for her as we get into it today. But first, everybody, Skype dance. Hi, Mom and Dad. I'll have some awesome questions for her as we get into it today. But first, everybody, Skype dance. Cool. So, Heidi.
Hey. Hello.
I can hear myself on your end.
Do you need me to mute them?
Mom and Dad have some awesome Is that possible?
I can try.
Oh, the live stream, not the Skype.
How about that? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I may need to plug in headphones. Hold on 1 second.
All right. Not to worry. Not to worry. I'll keep saying hi. We got a bunch of cool folks watching today, which is very exciting. We're gonna get you all set up here today. All right. So good to see you, Mom and Dad. Thank you for signing on again. Norman, Charlotte, thank you for joining. Mark, Audrey. Hey. And if you have not yet named yourself, say hey. It's Songwriter Sunday. This is fun. So we're getting some Heidi action.
Right.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you beautifully.
Okay, great. We'll just go with the headphones.
Okay. Yeah. Things have been a little wonky here lately. I don't know why, but Ed's watching too. Hello, Ed. Hi. Your friend Ed.
Okay. Great. Now I can hear you.
Good.
All right, I'm going to ditch out of Facebook, which is a little bit behind, but hello, now I can see you. I can't see anybody else if that's okay.
No, I will.
Your beautiful face is enough.
Yes, I will facilitate the chat, and this is actually like a very secret way for me to get private concerts from songwriters I like, because all you can see is me on Skype.
Perfect. Then I don't have to feel so nervous about who else is here. It's great.
It's just us forever.
That's it. I feel like a gazillion musical theater songs have been written about. It's just us. Only now. Forever and a day. Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so freaking excited to be here.
Of course. My pleasure. Yeah, I think you heard Audrey's with us, Ed, John's dad, Norm, Charlotte, John's here. My folks are here.
Oh, it's so good to hear and see you all, or at least see you all virtually-ish.
Yes.
So glad you're here.
And a couple of my other awesome, just like social media folks who pop up and have befriended me over the last year of live streaming madness. Mark is here too. So how is your Sunday going?
It's great. Very happy to be here. It's slightly warmer today up in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. And yeah, it's been great. My dog's been napping most of the day, so we're able to get a lot of work done.
That's right. That's right. Everyone, you're going to need to Venmo Heidi if you want to see her dog. I think it's a good investment, personally.
I might be able to get her down here by the end of today. I'll let you know.
Don't do it unless someone pays you.
Okay, that is good to know. I'll turn my notifications back on. But yeah, it's been great. Gosh, it's been, a while since you and I lived together, but I think we're still chained at the hip because right before I started, I was also jamming in D flat. I have a song about rain today, and I'm obsessed with In Time. So I was so excited when I heard that you were doing that one. I was like, yes! Yay! I remember when that hit my email inbox when you were at Jurassic, and I'm like, my best friend is so cool, you guys. It was great.
Thank you.
Super great.
Thank you so much. So I could blabber about you for 84 years, but for the folks who don't know you as well as I do you want to say a few things to introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Heidi Joosten. I'm a composer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist. I attempt to sing, so bear with me today. And yeah, my biggest things that I love when it comes to creating music are like collegiate wind ensemble, choral music, like that vein of classical music, but I'm obsessed with musical theater. Musical theater's been my lifeblood since I was a teenager. And so living in Chicago, I've got my hands in several different musicals. I could name them all at some point. I won't do that right now. But it's been a really fun journey. This city's been incredible in just having excellent collaborators, you know, such as Cassandra. We've written some stuff together. I have multiple collaborators from different parts of the city, multiple collaborators in different parts of the world. And musical theater is just a fun place to exercise those muscles in very different ways. So I love it.
And you are a master of the craft for sure. So let's get to hearing something. What do you want to start with today?
Sure. Well, let's start with one that's a little bit happier. This is a comedy song that I wrote as part of my my solo show, which was not solo show, sorry. It was an all original musical theater show called Cheaper Than Therapy, where the whole premise of Cheaper Than Therapy was the audience was invited into a therapy session of mine. Super vulnerable, super terrifying, but I was able to control the narrative and bring on a bunch of friends to collaborate in writing songs with, a bunch of friends to perform things with. And so this next song that you're about to hear is a song that was written with my dear friend Thomas Bailey, where I pitched him the idea. I was like, hey, Tom, do you want to write a unrequited musical theater song that may or may not have a bit of a twist at the end? Spoiler alert, although the song's been on YouTube for like 3 years, so if you really wanted to find it, you could find it. And he said absolutely, because the premise of this song was totally on brand for Tom and I. So this is the story of Charlie. Charlie is somebody in my building that either any human being would have fallen in love with Charlie given the opportunity. But Charlie is unavailable. So here's the song Charlie. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So this was originally written for a tenor. I'm going to give it my best like teacher soprano voice. So imagine this sung by Tom himself. This is Charlie.
Awesome.
This is also a patter song, and it may need to be dusted off a little bit. So here we go. After years of searching, I know I found my match. Big brown eyes and a playful smile, kind of short with a small bald patch. We met in the elevator. He smiled so wide at me. We shook hands and said, hey, it was love at first sight, won't you agree? He caught me so off guard. I was so smitten, so carefree. I didn't see he had a friend. And then he introduced me to his girl, Chloe. Chloe is all right. Nice enough, really not my type, kind of dumb, but all right. She tells me they just moved in together and they totally saved each other. She's the princess to his prince and they've been inseparable ever since. And while anyone can feign interest, I see the look in Charlie's eyes. I nod as Chloe yammers on and I start to realize I can't stop this feeling from coming within. I see something that's bound to begin. I'm sorry, Chloe, but Charlie needs saving again. Charlie, there's not another like you. Chloe doesn't love you like I do. We always hang out together. I can never get Charlie alone, but whatever. We all go to the park and head home just after dark. Charlie, me, and Chloe, best friends forever. we're watching a movie. Chloe leaves to fix us a snack, and Charlie lays his head on my lap. He took me by surprise. I look in his eyes and I stroke his head. Inside I am dead. Then Chloe screams, snacks are ready, and I just want Charlie to stay, but instead he runs to her and starts to eat while I'm stuck staring down at my feet. Charlie, there's not another like you. Charlie, Chloe doesn't love you like I do. You know she doesn't treat you the way that I would treat you. What the actual hell am I supposed to do? Should I steal you? We could run away together in the middle of the night. We'd have to move out of state, but that would be alright. It would be worth it for you and I to be together. Two peas in a pod and two birds of a feather. I could take you away when Chloe isn't home, because there's so many days when she leaves you all alone. Charlie, you know that you'd be happier with me. We'd go to Utah, Nebraska, or even Tennessee. We'd face criminal charges, but that would be worth it to spend a life with you. Yeah, that would be worth it for me. It would be worth it. Would it be worth it for you? Charlie, there's not another like you. Charlie, Chloe doesn't love you like I do. I just don't know what to do anymore. You're the only one that I adore. It's a tiresome labor being in love with your neighbors. Golden Labrador Retriever. How do you breathe?
Breathing.
So that is Tom Bailey and I's ode to dogs that are better than humans.
I love that. Every time I hear that, I crack up. And Norm was saying also that he was laughing out loud the whole time too. Ed sends,
it's a fun one.
Ed sends his
Thank
claps
you all.
as well. Audrey is throwing mad shade at Chloe, as am I, to be honest.
We all were throwing mad shade at Chloe. And like, although like being a dog owner now, I think if anybody tried to steal my dog from me, I'd be like, please don't, but you can babysit.
Ooh, Charlie Part 2, the
Charlie
murder
Part
ballad.
2. Charlie and Ruby. There it is. My dog's name is Ruth Bader Ginsbear because she's a little teddy bear, but Ruby for short.
Again, send money. We might see her.
That's it.
Heidi.
You might see Ruby. That's right.
You can do it. All right. Oh, that song cracks me up. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is usually the folks I'm talking to, like I know, but I didn't live with them, so I don't know them as well. So yeah, I guess let's start off then, since that was a collaboration. How do you go about collaborating with another writer or musician? What's kind of your process? Because I know, like you said, you do a lot of collaborations with a lot of different people. So yeah.
Sure. I mean, a lot of the times it's very organic. You meet someone, it's like, hey, I have this idea for a project. What do you think? So like, I was playing for a show at the Annoyance Theater, and I met Evan Mills, and just by meeting him, we ended up collaborating on Queer Eye, the musical parody. And I'm like literally blanking right now on how I met Laura Stratford, who I wrote the Bone Harp with. But a lot of times it means like meeting at a coffee shop in Andersonville and being like, how does this work? What do we think? Do we have a really good chemistry for that? I'm saying a lot. I'm really sorry.
You're fine.
But a lot of times it's, especially for the Cheaper Than Therapy series, which I am working on a second one for post-COVID,
Awesome.
because surprise, we are all going to need therapy after all of this. And so it's the idea of like, okay, I am not a confident lyricist. That's been like day dot from musical theater. I'm getting better at feeling more comfortable with the words that I put together, but I am far more of a composer than I am a lyricist. And so oftentimes it's like, I want to write a song about this. Do I have friends that want to dabble in musical theater? Do I have friends that want to dabble in storytelling along the lines of a musical theater aspect? And would we be a good fit for collaborating? And so that's a lot of where Cheaper Than Therapy came from. That's a lot of the different musicals that I'm writing. I'm happy to be there as like an editing eye for lyrics of like, does this really work? Can we maybe make this stronger? How does this work? But the first stab at lyrics for me is incredibly difficult. So anything that I'm able to work with somebody on, also, like, we both get paid. Hooray!
Yes, right. Yeah, the whole professional side of that too. Oh, things we could get into. Very cool.
Right.
Very cool.
Thanks.
I think the folks deserved to hear another one of your songs. So
I think so too. I'm trying to think like, well, now that we're talking about lyrics, I think it might be good to pivot to the one that you hear. These are lyrics that I wrote myself, and I'm a very I'm a very controlling person. My family's gonna laugh when they hear that. I like to make sure that my hands are here, like in everything, to make sure that the quality control is up to my standards, which is often it's too high. I'm working on like being able to relinquish some of that control.
They're quite high. Yes.
But when it comes to writing my own lyrics, I tend to like hold myself to the strictest of rhymes. Perfect scansion, make sure that it's very cookie cutter. And these lyrics that I wrote next were anything but that. They fit with the music that I wanted, but they're much more prose. And it's a ballad. It's again another like it's not an unrequited love ballad, but it's the idea of like giving things up because you already feel yourself moving forward. And that it was really a reflection. This is another piece from Cheaper Than Therapy of my love of where I grew up and knowing that I was never going to live there forever. There were a lot of really great things about it, but there were also just a lot of heartbreak that pushed me to where I needed to be today, and being okay with moving forward like that. So this is Leaving You Behind, which is it's another song from Cheaper Than Therapy. So this is yay, back to D flat again. Hooray. Celebrity's a lot more fun than this one. This one's very sad. The hardest thing to learn is fairy tales lie. There's no prince, just a man with flaws like your own. And he's beautiful and kind, but kind doesn't mean right. In his mind, your life goes one way. Safe, but you lose all you've gained. If he says, I need you, would it make me stay? My heart holding me back in the hope of having you forever. Fate pulling me forward so far away from you that I find myself digging my heels in for a future in which we fail. We can't go backward in time, so I'm leaving you behind. hardest thing to see is a life you've never known. There's no map, just a sea with no ending in sight. It's a thrill, but only if you don't remain still. He buys you an anchor, not a mast. It's safe if your aspirations pass. If he says, I need you, would it make me stay? My heart holding me back in the hope of having you forever. Fate pulling me forward so far away from you that I find myself digging my heels in for a future in which we fail. We can't go backward in time, so I'm leaving you behind. The dreams we both have, yours a stream, mine an ocean, never ours. Different lives, different times. I may search forever for the happiness you have, but it needs to be mine to find. While you sit in the castle you insisted we would build, I have run a marathon in heels so I wouldn't turn around and see if you're still looking. Are you still looking? Because if you'd have said, I need you, I wouldn't have stayed. My heart once held me back in the hope of having you forever. Fate keeps pulling me forward so far away from you that I'm no longer digging my heels in for a future in which we'd fail. We can't go backward in time. I am leaving you behind.
Awesome.
That's a long one. Sorry about that.
Why? I could have listened for 15 more minutes.
About all the sad songs about a love that is gone. It's musical theater.
They have to be long. There's no other option. Short
That is
songs
true.
are for like post-core metal bands, you know, screaming about the patriarchy and stuff, right?
That's it. Although I would be totally fine doing that as well. So.
Lots of nice comments coming in on this one too from Audrey and my folks, and Jared is watching, digging it as well. Awesome. Thank you for joining, Jared.
Oh, thanks, y'all.
Can you recite the lines what was the stream and the river?
Oh, the dreams we both have, yours a stream, mine an ocean, never ours.
Yeah.
Different lives, different times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I like.
That was a
I had to take a walk around the studio after that.
Oh, I that was a tough one, and that like I think that was the writing of this song was like one of the first times I ever really like gave myself permission to understand that like something good doesn't mean that it's right. Something and that's like a huge lesson we all learn going into adulthood that
Mm.
like there is no happily ever after. You actively choose to make it happen. So
Yeah.
yeah, this was the first time I ever performed this one. I had like a raging sinus infection, so thank you for like giving me the opportunity to redeem that.
No, you're sounding great. And actually, the comments are coming in. Audrey and Mark and Ed are all rallying behind the string quartet. Audrey wants to do a string quartet recording with you, and everybody else thinks that's a good
Ooh, Audrey, let us chat. Also, I miss you all. Gosh, I can't wait for this pandemic to be over so we can all go to brunch at Tweet and just take over the world again.
and like breathe on each other like this close, because that's kind of my
Yes.
hug mo. It's really I'm trying to hug you on this. It's not working on the screen. Okay.
Bear hug. I'm with you as well.
No, gorgeous.
Yes.
I mean, it's so interesting that you say you feel, and I know we've had this conversation privately, but publicly, you feel less confident about lyrics than you do about music, and yet that song, you know, again, also breaking with the some of the structural things that you tend to value in your co-writing. It's so moving, and it has all these beautiful layers to it too. So I guess if I can be challenging here, I haven't pushed anything this far with anybody yet. Um, like, because I have like super lyric hubris, but no degrees or anything like that. I'm just a bookworm. And I know you are too. So where does that insecurity come from? I think for people who are wanting to write lyrics or feel nervous about writing lyrics, maybe putting a face to that concern, and then maybe we can, I don't know, where does that come from? Because I thought that was an amazing song.
Oh, thank you. I think again, this is something that I'm working on because I'm teaching. And it's one of those that like in order to teach and instill confidence in other people, you have to have confidence in the things that you are doing. For so long, I was of the very like strict conservatory mindset that everything you do has to be manicured and polished and the score needs to look perfect and everything has to have just this giant shine to it. And that's very typical of the musical theater that I grew up learning. I'd listen to it like crazy until I could get my hands on the sheet music.
Mm.
And now I'm realizing as a teacher that especially younger generations are so tuned in to even more music than we could ever get our hands on because they grew up with the internet and we in high school had to go to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And so coming full circle with all of that, a lot of it is just doing it and rewriting and knowing that the first time you write something you have to give yourself the opportunity to rewrite it and give yourself the time to rewrite it. So as I approach lyric writing now, I try to give myself like a structure to work inside of, but if there is somebody else that can do it before me, I will gravitate towards that because I feel comfortable putting music to it first. It's easier for me to see lyrics and hear music than for me to see a blank page and be like, great, put the English language down. Cause that is, it's something for me that as I'm working through to feel more comfortable at it, as I'm doing it more, it's giving myself the permission to have the audacity to get it wrong first.
Beautiful.
And that's been something I've been trying to unlearn since graduate school, or not graduate school, undergrad, everything.
Yeah.
Just creating as a female, I felt like every time I put something out first, it's gotta be great first. And if I don't do it, it doesn't have the opportunity to not be great. But now it's giving myself that permission to say, well, just do it. And if nothing happens, like, you're still going to pay your rent. Like, your parents are still going to call one way or another, hopefully. And so that's kind of where I've been going. And even kind of like briefly pivoting, something that's been really exciting for me recently when theater shut down is that my high school gig where I'm normally just a pianist at, they decided to write their spring musical. We start rehearsals on it this Tuesday. And kind of like you had said, you wrote your high school musical. I've been working with a collective of people that are like, we don't really know how to write a musical. I'm like, well, you can write a poem, right? You can write a stanza of lyrics, right? You can sing that stanza of lyrics. It doesn't matter that you can't create the sheet music or you don't feel confident doing that, because like I've been doing that for 11 years. I can make your sheet music for you. Why don't you just write something that sounds really good to you, and then we'll go forward. And that's been a blast to just break down the constructs of needing to control everything from beginning to end. So again, control freak, relinquishing control.
No. That's so insightful and wonderful and inspirational too. You know, if it, I was just talking to John about one of my favorite quotes. Is from Merce Cunningham, John Cage's partner, and the quote is, "The only way to do it is to do it," which is very Cagean, right?
Very Cagean, yes, exactly.
But really, that's what it is, and I love that, you know, you're saying, especially working with high school students, right? Like, well, you can compose, you can write songs, and I've been doing that with some of my students too, who are like, I just can't do it. I'm like, well, we'll do it one step at a time, and then you'll be able to do it. And I think too, even as adults, for me, my fear issue is melody. I feel like I'm very weak melodically. And I did have a few months where I just outsourced. I was like, you write the melody, you write the melody, you write the melody to other people. And maybe that's something I can take away, is like, maybe I just need to rewrite some melodies.
And I You're an excellent writer. I was singing along while you were opening. I was just like jamming back and forth. I cannot dance, by the way. All my rhythm is literally in these 10 fingers. But yeah, it's, and I think that's like, especially, and I don't mean to sit here and like knock conservatory education, because I'm very grateful for the degrees that I got, but I feel like there's a lot of pressure that you should just know how to do it all. And if there's one area that you feel particularly weak in, that's seen as a weakness on the whole. And that's a really hard area of thinking to break, and be a reason why I have loved musical theater, is because there are so few, if not any writers, any of your favorite writers have a team. They got an orchestrator. They've got another lyricist or a music director they're working with that's helping to write all the choral parts. And the idea of collaborating and having the amount of people in the room to constantly check, are we doing the best work that we can right now? Are we putting forth the best step that we can right now, knowing we may need to rewrite? That's why I love this industry so much. It's not shamed if you have to go, if you decide to outsource any aspect of what you're doing. Whereas like an opera composer writes the whole thing. And it's just expected that all falls on the shoulder of the composer. The librettist may come in, but the composer writes all of the melodies, all the harmonies, all of the orchestral parts, which is thrilling to an extent. But I also think that like the more people you can have, like, again, we all get paid if you bring along your friends. So
yeah, and I think for me, kind of alongside with you, that has always been the appeal for pop music too, is there is the opportunity to have the table of writers, have the person who does the mixing, have the engineer, and I know how to do all those things, but somebody does it better than me. And so that's, you know, I can play the drums, but not as well as the guy who's been doing my drum tracks, you know, for my last few songs. So that's a really a great, we're going to get more into that privately at some point, I think.
Perfect. I'll bring the wine. It'll be great.
Good deal. Well, we've got about 10 minutes, and I want to get you at least 2 songs in for those who are loving your tunes. But before we do that, around this time, I like to ask, and this will be my last chatty thing, what can people do if people are interested in this conversation or in your music thus far? What can people do to support you, support your art? What are some either financially or just in any other way? What can people do for you?
Very good question. I think the biggest thing for support, honestly, is just to interact and like the social media stuff. You know, follow anybody that you like. It doesn't cost anything to follow someone on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Even if it's something that, like, you know, you're not all that interested in seeing the content all the time. Like, you can filter how often you see things, but it costs nothing. And we get hired according to how high our social numbers are. If you got an Instagram over 5,000 people or 5,000 followers, you're more apt to get hired for something than somebody with 900 followers because the reach is further. So I think like that's really it for me right now. Until the world reopens, socials is kind of where I'm at, and I'm not saying that like necessarily from a negative standpoint. It's just everything is in limbo, and like my life right now, I've got a bunch of projects that are right behind the gate of the bull riding arena. And then when COVID's over, they're going to open and it's going to be the ride of my life. So if you want to keep an eye on the things that I'm doing, Instagram, I post photos of my dog. I don't post a whole lot else, but she's a real cute little bear. Twitter is a little bit more new music nihilistic, but it's a good place to be. And then Facebook is pretty much your typical artist Facebook page.
Got it.
So I'm not cool enough to stream all the time like you are because you're so good at what you do. And I'm horrifically camera shy. So
all right, so definitely the socials, the website's up there, the Venmo's up there, the name is spelled correctly as far as I can tell up there.
Yes.
So for all the socials, go ahead, get on that for Heidi. So let's get 2 more songs in before we have to hop off for the day.
Sure, that sounds great. I think then the next one that I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the musicals that I'm writing kind of in another basket for now because they may get rewritten. So I'm going to go, why don't we do the, I'm going to do Halfway, and then if we want to do the video for our last one to end on a bang,
I love it.
And feature one of my favorite singers in the whole city of Chicago. So the next, because like you said, you want to be a flower pot because if you're outside and it rains, that's the way that you're nurtured. This is a song that was kind of the 11 o'clock number from Cheaper Than Therapy, written with one of my dearest friends and colleagues, Robin West, who I believe was on this stream as well.
Absolutely.
Right? Correct. And this was a really interesting collaboration where I had reached out to Robin and said, Robin, I know you write fantastic lyrics. I kind of want to write a song about being stuck, just any idea of being stuck in where you are. But I can't stop thinking about this lyric. And this happens to me a lot when I'm writing. I'm like, I think of a hook or I think of something, but I don't have the capacity to flush it out. So I reached out to Robin and I was like, I keep having this song or this lyric go through my head. It's right now it's raining, but you're going to be okay. And from there, they wrote me the most stunningly beautiful lyrics that kind of feel like have been keeping me attempting to keep me going during this pandemic where, you know, a lot of us had to pivot. Like we had everything set. We created that control of everything was right here. And then, you know, everything went down and we've found other ways to be creative.
Awesome.
So I need a little more water before this one. It's been a really long time since I've like talked and sang this much. So thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. My pleasure to catch up and nerd out about art together.
Yes. Can't wait to do it in person.
Yep.
Here we go. This is Halfway. Somewhere, something's beginning. Something is almost awake, but not yet. Not just yet. And you are still waiting, trying to move without losing your place, feeling nowhere, floating nowhere. But what if you run over the edge? 'Cause you can't see through the rain. One step forward out of your head, 2 steps backward into your brain. When all you are is halfway to the next halfway. And when all that you know breaks down in the face of the storm you've made, take a breath. Meet yourself at the crossroads. You don't have to understand how. But right now it's raining and you're gonna be okay. part the waters and walk through. But what if you drown instead? And all of your days are more of the same. One step forward out of your head, 2 steps backward into your brain. When all you are is halfway to the next halfway. And when all that you know breaks down in the face of the storm you've made, take a breath. Meet yourself at the crossroads. You don't have to understand how. But right now it's raining and you're gonna be okay. So say it out loud. I am changing. Say it out loud. When the going is rough, say it out loud. I'm a stranger to myself, but I am enough. Somewhere, something's beginning, and I am here. When all you are is halfway to the next halfway, and when all that you know breaks down in the face of the storm you made, take a breath. Meet yourself at the crossroads. You don't have to understand how, but right now it's raining. Some days it's pouring, but right now it's raining. And you're gonna be okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And
That's a hard one to sing and play, so thank you.
yeah, and no doubt.
Robin is amazing.
They are. Yeah. I dropped their website there in the comments if you missed my show with Robin a couple months back. So we got to sneak in one more for those who are. Thank you, Mark. Thanks for sticking around. Everybody's digging that one as well. So we got to go a couple minutes over time because people need to hear this last tune for sure. Sorry, I called it peace. Do you want to say anything about it?
Okay.
Or should we just?
Sure. I have to give a couple of disclaimers about this one. So a big reason why I am obsessed with musical theater is because I am obsessed with key changes. And I have struggled to find a way to put that into non-musical theater songs. Because I am just obsessed with key changes. This one has them all over the place, but this was one of my first forays into songwriting in Chicago, where when I moved to the city, I moved from a town of 1,500 people, and I kind of asked people, I was like, so where's a place that you go to meet men to date? Church? And people said Tinder. So between my research and friends of mine and other places on the internet, I realized that online dating profiles are insane. And really, the way men choose to describe themselves, I felt was worthy of a song. This song is not safe for work. There is some bad language in this, but I didn't write it. They did. So blame them. It's cathartic. That is not my joke. That is Hannah Gadsby's joke. But this was sung by one of my dearest friends, Suzanne Hanau. Her husband was the first pianist that ever played this, but Suzanne is just phenomenal. This is from Cheaper Than Therapy, the video itself, when it premiered. But hey, support the crap out of Cassandra. She's doing amazing things, and it's just been a blast to be able to come in and chat with you all, and I can't wait to hug you in person. This pandemic can go away yesterday.
I agree wholeheartedly. Do you want to hang for a farewell, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I can hang for a farewell.
Up to
sure.
you.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I said it, and I could say it 25 more times. So.
All good. All right. So this is tell us a bit about yourself, and here it is.
Looking for someone I like half as much as my dog. If Ryan Gosling, Rosie O'Donnell, and that slut from Ice Age had a baby, I would be their son. I'm 26. I live with my grandparents, but that will hopefully change soon. I'll be Burger King and you'll be McDonald's. I'll have it my way and you'll be loving it. Fun fact, I can actually drink champagne with my feet, and I'm teaching myself how to paint. I'm on here because they kicked me off blackpeoplemeet.com. My favorite song is Jingle Bell Rock, and I don't like things with sharp edges. Married, couple of kids, looking for some side action. Just kidding. Single, 3 Tamagotchis, looking for someone to bring along to family events so they'll stop thinking something is wrong with me. I have a thing for women's feet. I'm looking for a woman who enjoys having her feet worshipped and massaged. For the longest time, I've been embarrassed about my fetish. But now I want to embrace it. Message me if you want free massages. I have an opinion on the Oxford comma. Not Canadian. The man with the patience to grow a beard has the patience to put up with your shit. Also, I find pants completely irrelevant. Got kicked off ChristianMingle.com for saying the Jews weren't fully to blame. Superman's cape. You don't spin into the wind. You don't pull that mask off that old Lone Ranger. And you don't fuck with Dave. How cool would it be to live inside of the lion's den? How do you feel about balloon animals? I'll tell your dad we met at a charity event. In a public bathroom? I don't think so. You take the blue pill.
deep your butthole goes.
Twerking saves marriages!
This is cool, but have you ever had garlic bread?
On my way to living in a van down by the river. Hey girl, are you a craft beer keg? 'Cause I wanna tell you all night
That's it.
That's all you have to know. Heidi, Joosten, everybody. Composers.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
You're the best. You are the best.
Not you. So
Not
go
you.
visit HeidiJoosten.com. Send her some Venmo love. Follow her on Instagram and Facebook and all that good stuff. I'm going to sign off with you, Heidi. Lovely to see you. Lovely to hear you.
You as well.
And
Thank you.
talk more soon. Everybody
Can't
else,
wait.
stay put for next week's update. Bye, girl.
Woo! Bye.
All right. So, for those of you still hanging around, next week is going to be pretty cool. I am interviewing my first person that I have not actually met or had a degree of separation. Well, I guess I have a degree of separation. But it will be very special because I'm having Joe and Beckett Party Hardy Genwardi on the show. It's a father-son duo. And the dad is a dueling piano player, entertainer, and the son had to undergo a heart transplant at the age of 3, survived it, and now they write songs together kind of like as a family. So first of all, how amazing is that story about the kiddo? Second of all, they're doing really, really cool songwriting work from a creative aspect, from a generational aspect, and just like trying to bring joy to other people and bring awareness towards some of these medical conditions as well. So next Sunday, March 7th at 2 p.m. Central Time, we'll have Joe and Beckett Party Hardy Genwardi on the show. So I hope that you can join us for that. In the meantime, please do follow Heidi, follow all of the artists who show up here if you're able to. And I appreciate those of you who come back every week and watch. And if you're new to watching, thank you for being here. So I'm Cassandra. In the meantime, stay well, stay safe, stay kind. And if not my other streams, I'll see you next Sunday, 2 p.m. Central. Take care, y'all.